Okay, our chicken prison is finally done. This is an Agri Supply chicken coop that we got at the Agri Supply in Florence, and we made some modifications to it. Okay, this is what the coop originally looks like, which is it's fir wood, and it is not finished at all. So there's no stain, no paint, no anything. When we were at the Agri Supply store, one of the guys that was working there who assembles these said that they don't last, so we wanted to put some protection on it. And so the protection would be either stain or paint, and we didn't want to stain it for a lot of different reasons, so we painted it instead. So we got our nice green color, which is the same as the coop, and then Andrea wanted to put a white color on the roof, so if the sun got onto it, it would reflect, not absorb the heat, because we live in South Carolina and it can get pretty hot here. So this has a little window thing that has mesh on it that you can open and close. It obviously has the door on the side that we can access. There is a chicken door down here, which is closed right now, that you can open and close via the little, where is it? There it is. Via the little handle thing. Then we got our chicken ramp. Then you got the main door. Then you have the nest box that Andre has a little mini carabiner on. And so it has two nest boxes in here. And then, as you can see, further over here, it has a metal pan, which is for the bedding. Now, alright, the other things we did to it, the mesh came with it, but let's see if I can show it here. We added mesh down at the bottom because there were a couple of holes that Andrea didn't like. So instead of trying to patch it up, we just stuck mesh underneath. And then the other thing we did is we put a ground contact 2x4 base around it. And so this is so it can be easier to move, because how we moved it over here is we built it over at the carport over there, and then we just stuck it on the pallet forks and then moved it all the way over here. And if Sherlock's not careful, I'm going to shove him in there and then shut the door and see how he likes it. Then another thing we did is the roost bars actually did not come with it, which is fine because we were going to create our own roost bar anyway. So what we did is, this is a cut in half 2x6 that we chamfered the corners and then I sanded. But the thing about this is I can be able to pop it up and get it out if I need to. So it should be good enough for them to actually roost on. Then the last thing we did to it is I had a little left over because we kept getting water into the storage area of the main coop. So what I did is I added this little sweet piece that we had that was left over, so we could keep water from getting into the nest box and the coop itself. It's rained a couple of times since I've done this, and only just a little bit of water got in. And I think the majority of that was I forgot to shut the window. So that is the overview of the chicken prison. Now I call it a chicken prison because primarily what it's going to be used for is for this. Alright, this is Celine Dion right here. Celine Dion is currently broody. She's been broody for, I think, the last couple of weeks or so. And we have 14 laying hens, and we have a total of 5 nest boxes. And Celine Dion has been broody. No G is, hold on, let me show her. Alright, No G is right there. No G is our Lavender Americana. She's been, I'll call it semi-broody, where she's been in there a few days, but she's obviously out now. She's been out for the last couple of days. So I don't know if she's been broody and then not been broody. We have Charlton Hestia right there. She is what we call fake broody, where she just likes laying in the nest box and likes laying on top of eggs. But she's not hardcore broody like Celine Dion is. And so we can get her out fairly easily, and then she's obviously out most of the time. And taking a bath right here, that is Samantha. Samantha is our original broody chicken. She's the one that actually raised the youngins. And so she's potentially going to be going broody here pretty quick. So the purpose of this chicken prison is to isolate the broody hens and then keep them in here instead of in the main coop, because like yesterday, for instance, Samantha was in a nest box most of the day. Celine Dion was in the nest box all day. No G was in the nest box most of the day. And then Charlton Hestia was in and out of nest boxes most of the day. Well, that's 4 out of our 5 nest boxes. And we still have 11 other laying hens. So that's not a good thing. And so the chicken drama was real yesterday because the rest of the girls were wanting to lay their eggs and they couldn't because the nest box was being usurped by a bunch of broodies and wanna broodies. So what Andrea is doing now, she's adding hemp to the nest box and to the bottom of the coop. Now, we normally do a deep litter with hemp. We're obviously not going to be able to do that with this because we only got a couple of inches. But we still should be able to use the hemp no problem. And so when Andre gets done with that, we're going to grab a volunteer, aka Celine Dion, and we're going to put her in there. And Sherlock's deciding that he wants to eat the hemp for some reason. So let me go skedaddle him. Okay, so we got her in here. So it took Andrea a couple minutes to actually get her out because obviously she was not cooperating. So she's in here. Now Andrea's going to grab some food and water and put it down in the run. And then we'll be good. So yep, we got 1 chicken who's predominantly going to just be in here until she's done being broody. And then if we have another one, we have another spot right there. So that's the primary reason we're going to be doing this. So hopefully she'll quit being broody here pretty quick. And then she can rejoin all of her sisters and Mr. Rooster. Okay, Celine Dion is now out. She is not happy. Sisters are over there going, what in the world is going on? Since we put the panels up, we can obviously see them. And so Andre's in the process of getting the food and water right now. So the good thing about Celine Dion is that if she wants to, she can be able to partake in some foraging. but I don't think that's what she really cares about right now. I don't think she likes it in there, but she'll have to deal with it until she's done being broody. Okay, we got the food and water in here. So Celine Dion was actually partaking in some of the foraging before we got the food and water in here. Water's obviously right there. The food we were able to put underneath the coop, so it should be fairly well protected. We also only have one port open, which is the port that you can see right there. So assuming she figures out how to use it, she's eaten out of that food container before, so it should be okay. And so obviously the sisters don't know what's going on because there's Lacey right there, Eleanor, Rose, then there's Special K and Roadrunner. Oh, here comes Blondie. And so basically, hopefully this won't be for too much longer. And then once she decides that she's not going to be broody anymore, then we'll put her in with everybody else. And so No G almost was going to be going in there, but I guess not. So I already told Samantha that if she doesn't shape it up, that she'll be right in there with her. Now, with these small coops like this, they say you can have up to like 5 or 6 chickens in here. I'm assuming those would be the silky type chickens, which silky chickens are basically a little bit bigger than like 4-week-old chicks. They're very small. They're still considered a chicken, but they're not very big. Full-size chicken in one about this size, I would say would probably be 2 max. And I would not have any more than that, because if you're going to keep them in a run like this, they need about 10 square feet per chicken. And this thing is about 2 by 6, which means it's got 12 square feet. So it's perfect for one chicken like this. But if you're going to have chickens that are going to be broody 100% of the time, they're not going to be out too much anyway. So Celine Dion, I guess, is going to take advantage of the situation. But anyway, we'll check on her in a little bit. So hopefully she'll be doing pretty good. And so that's what happens when you get arrested and charged with the crime of going broody and occupying nest boxes too much. And then you get convicted, and then this is your prison. So Celine Dion, if she doesn't want to be in prison, she needs to shape up and be a good little girl.